It is very natural for a competitive athlete like Cristiano Ronaldo to not settle for mediocrity. The legendary Portuguese forward returned to Manchester United last summer and was expected to revive the club's ailing fortunes. Things haven't worked out, with the Red Devils going through a turbulent start of the campaign that culminated in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's sacking. We're going to talk about what Ronaldo had to say about the current situation at Old Trafford. Meanwhile, Chelsea are looking to sell up to 3 players in the upcoming transfer window, with the Blues keeping one eye on a spending spree during the summer transfer window. PSG are eager to bring in fresh faces in the summer transfer window, and it appears that the French giants are keeping a close eye on the development of a player who's done an amazing job in the Premier League. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's future at Arsenal looks bleak, but it appears that the latest rich boys of European football are looking to offer him redemption. Things have not worked out for Philippe Coutinho ever since he left Liverpool for Barcelona. It now appears that a few clubs are willing to save the Brazilian from his Catalonian misery. Before we get started, we want to share the sponsor of today's video. The OneFootball app is the ultimate football platform and is a must-have for every football fan, so that you can follow all of your favourite leagues, teams and players all the time right from your phone. You can be sure to turn on notifications for specific players to be instantly alerted when they score a goal or when they're involved in other breaking news. It is the best and easiest way to stay up to date with everything football. Click the link in the description down below to download the app right now. You won't regret it. Placed on the list of undesirables at Barcelona, Philippe Coutinho also wants to leave this winter, and it appears that there is one particular club that wants to offer the attacking midfielder a chance to revive his career. Who wants Philippe Coutinho? That's one of the main questions that's come up frequently on the lips of the leaders of Barcelona for some time, since the winter transfer window has officially opened its doors and each team has 1 month to do its shopping, which includes getting rid of its unwanted players. It is precisely in this category where the Brazilian international has been placed. Once brilliant for Liverpool and today marketed as a deadweight by the Catalan management, times have changed. According to the latest information from Sport, PALMEIRAS, who have been linked with the attacking midfielder, are not going to follow through. The Spanish daily adds that ABEL FERREIRA, the coach of the 2-time Copa Libertadores title holders, has preferred to prioritise recruiting a centre-forward in the coming weeks, with Daverson expected to leave and veteran striker Luis Adriano to join Internacional. PALMEIRAS have different needs. Still, this is an exit door that's closing for Philippe Coutinho, and the latter, therefore, still does not know what his future holds. One thing is certain: the player has made the decision to leave Barca in order to have a chance to play in the next World Cup in Qatar at the end of 2022. A departure would delight everyone, to begin with for Barcelona, whose finances are quite problematic. It remains to be seen who will want to take a chance on the player who's wasted his career by jumping the Liverpool ship mid-season. In search of reinforcements this winter in order to vanquish the spectre of relegation, Newcastle United are studying the possibility of bringing Aubameyang to St James's Park. At the gallows at Arsenal, where he was stripped of the status of captain and hasn't been seen since, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang will be able to get a good breath of fresh air by participating in the African Cup of Nations 2021 in Cameroon from January 9th to February 6th with Gabon. A delicate sporting situation for the talented forward who hasn't played for the Gunners since the 2-1 defeat against Everton. However, at the start of the winter transfer window, some teams are still on the lookout for Aubameyang. This is particularly the case of Newcastle, who have already started exploring the possibilities. 19th in the Premier League, the Magpies are currently 2 points behind Watford. This is a critical stage of the season that has pushed the new owners of the club to position themselves during the transfer window. With this in mind, the Geordies would like to take advantage of the delicate situation of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and have already contacted Arsenal. For them, the idea would be to sign the Gabon star on loan until the end of the season, including an option to make the move permanent. Also, according to the Mirror, the summer transaction could then amount to £20 million. With the striker's days at Arsenal seemingly numbered, Newcastle United could take the opportunity to treat themselves to a massive notable signing after the Saudis bought the club. Moreover, if many consider the January transfer window to be crucial for Newcastle's chances of surviving the descent, the potential arrival of the Gunners' number 14 could strengthen Newcastle's offensive sector that has failed miserably this season and is in trouble due to the recent injuries to Callum Wilson and Alain Saint-Maximin against Manchester United. Asked recently against the possible arrivals, Eddie Howe, the coach of the Magpies, was very careful, preferring to focus on the players that he currently has. However, it is clear that the current crop of players isn't good enough, which is why they are where they are right now. If you follow the Premier League closely, you must surely already be under the spell of Conor Gallagher. The Crystal Palace midfielder on loan from Chelsea is loving life in England and has even been called up to the national team. And you can imagine his performances have not gone unnoticed. If there's one coach who's impressed by the native of Epsom, it is Mauricio Pochettino. This is what the tabloid The Sun said this weekend. The Paris Saint-Germain coach is particularly fond of him, but above all, he thinks there is a way to attract him to Paris. A complex operation regardless, since Chelsea cannot so easily break the loan agreement they have with Crystal Palace. Gallagher is rated at €60 million, and we're sure that Chelsea would ask for even more for a player who's definitely going to improve a lot in the coming months. Meanwhile, the Blues are eager to generate funds, but need to sell quite a few players in order to do that. Even if there is this emerging controversy between Thomas Tuchel and Romelu Lukaku following some inappropriate remarks, in the eyes of the German, of the striker in the Italian press, Chelsea's season is going rather well. Admittedly, the Blues are already trailing Manchester City by 11 points, but it must be said that the cruising speed of the citizens is insane, and the Londoners can't really do much about it. In the knockout stages of the Champions League, the Blues will face Lille, a draw which looks favourable for the reigning European champs. But they still intend to strengthen in the winter, especially in order to cope with the many injuries. According to The Sun, 3 players could be pushed to pack their bags this summer. Ross Barkley, little used by Thomas Tuchel, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, an important player with the Blues, but also in the shadows and could bring a nice check-in, and finally, there's Hakim Ziyech, who's struggling to adapt. Chelsea would, however, ask for a significant amount for the Moroccan international, wishing not to incur a lot of loss on a player who had cost them a little more than €40 million. 3 potential sales that could help finance the arrivals of players like Alain Saint-Maximin or Ousmane Dembele. Cristiano Ronaldo took to social media to celebrate the year 2022, posting a photo with his family on New Year's Eve. The Portuguese star wrote a short post summarising his year, but has been quite critical of his current club, Manchester United. 2021 is coming to an end, and it was far from an easy year, despite my 47 goals in all competitions, Ronaldo wrote on Instagram. 2 different clubs and 5 different coaches, a stage of the Euro final played with my national team, and a qualification for the World Cup left in suspense for 2022. At Juventus, I was proud to win the Italian Cup and the Italian Super Cup, and to become the top scorer in Serie A, thundered CR7. All is not well at Manchester United. While a win over Burnley was a welcome sight, it is clear that Ralf Rangnick has his work cut out for him as he looks to guide the club back to its glory days. United are going to have a hard time to finish inside the top 4 this season, and they can't afford any more slip-ups. Ronaldo has done well since his return to Old Trafford, but in all honesty, the supporting cast has not been good enough at all. Bruno Fernandes, who was such a live wire for them last season, is no longer the creative spark that he used to be. Marcus Rashford has forgotten how to play like a forward whose early career at the club showed so much promise. At the same time, the defensive issues just don't seem to go away. The midfield is another area of serious concern, where Scott McTominay blows hot and cold, while Fred lacks the small bit of creativity which is becoming so essential for a player in that important position. Ronaldo will be hoping that the second half of the campaign is a better one for him and his team, because the former Real Madrid man is far too used to winning trophies. Can he get that at Old Trafford? Maybe not this season, but there's always hope, right?